Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? Stop it. Just stop it. Mount Rushmore, that's it. That's too much. All right? Okay, they're tearing down statues. They're beheading statues. They're painting on walls. They're defacing the history of America. Stop it. Mount Rushmore cannot be doomed. If Mount Rushmore's doomed, the nation is doomed. The Judeo-Christian values in which this nation was founded on would just be doomed. Every person has personal flaws, or different eras had different mentality. The ideology of destroying history is what ISIS does, not what American organizations cannot use the freedom we have from our founders to be used to destroy the very freedom in which we were founded on. What are we doing here? Leave Mount Rushmore alone. What? Hey, Antifa, leave the Mount Rushmore alone. Okay, let me just say something right now. Let me put a shout out right now if I can to NobleGoldInvestments.com, good friend of the ministry. Certainly, a lot of folks have lost some hope recently, and stuff like this is why. There's a lot of despair going around and some few sleepless nights. With the stock market returning to minus 10% since the start of the year, it's all looking a little dismal, but it doesn't have to be, okay? Crazy as it sounds, gold is actually up 15% this year since the beginning of the year. That's a 25% difference in where your money could have been earning. It depends where you got your money, stock market or precious metals. It's probably something you've never considered before, the way you've never considered Zoom calls or wearing a mask in public. But all these things seem normal today, and not for me, but for a lot of people. But so should investing in precious metals. Matter of fact, gold, silver, palladium, and platinum have all proven to be safe haven investments. It is the only investment with appreciating value during economic collapse. If you're interested in securing your wealth, you need to call NobleGoldInvestments.com. That's www.NobleGoldInvestments.com. Or pick up the phone, call Colin Plume or one of his associates at 877-646-5347. That's right, 877-646-5347. Or just visit their website at www.NobleGoldInvestments.com. You'll be glad you did, folks. Let me just say something. They're a Christian company and they're family owned and they're really, really good people. Get a cup of coffee. Everybody just calm down a minute. They're thinking about destroying Mount Rushmore. So what's next? Just tear down the Capitol building, blow up the Supreme Court building, bulldoze the White House, and build a new communist Kremlin, a super socialistic society right in the middle of, move it to Seattle maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe that I'm thinking that Washington State and maybe Oregon may want to just try to secede from the Union. Instead of trying to change America, just maybe some of those guys maybe just need to go ahead and pack it up and go, you know? And that's not all the people live in those areas, because there's a lot of great Christians and people who love America who live in the Northwest who are just baffled by this insanity. Anyway, Mount Rushmore is doomed, according to some folks, because of the 1619 riots, they call it. There's no way, though, that Mount Rushmore can survive the insurgency of this left-wing domestic terroristic currently unfolding in our nation. We may have just crossed a Rubicon, a paradigm shift that we can't recover from. I don't know. With the ongoing 1619 riots, they call them, sparked, of course, by the death of George Floyd, who was, which the establishment media has decided that one act should, wreck an entire nation? You know, I think that we've got to have cooler heads prevail here, guys. You can't just go tearing down. You can't change history. In this environment, though, Mount Rushmore may not survive, guys. All four of these men carved into the Black Hills of South Dakota have been labeled problematic by some of the left-wing loony liberal media. That includes Abraham Lincoln, by the way, who was instrumental in winning the Civil War and stood strong to make sure that slavery would be abolished. And his proclamation of emancipation, have they forgotten it? Already the location of Mount Rushmore has already been called problematic because at one time it belonged to the Indians. Well, so did all of America. Okay? Already the man who sculptured Mount Rushmore is even being called problematic. As some people try to say, he was a member of the Ku Klux Klan, as a member of the Democratic Party. Although he always denied that vehemently, and his family has too. It doesn't matter in this smearing world we live in the lamestream fake news media. So I don't know what's going to happen next, guys. I think that we have to slow this train way down. Everybody needs to calm down, get some coffee, calm down. But the Bible tells us that in the last days they'll say evil is good and good is evil. And if you just take a step back, take 3 steps back, and look at the platform in which some of these loony left socialist communists are standing on. Their platform is not to make America better, not to restore America, not to return America to greatness, not to do anything with America, but to destroy America in many ways. And it's somehow, I can't comprehend why that's not sinking in a little deeper into the spiritual soul and fiber of this nation, but we don't know. I know one thing. Will Mount Rushmore survive? Is it doomed? Will it come down? I actually think we should add a 5th, at least, if not 6. Add 2 new faces to Mount Rushmore. I would, let me just tell you what I think. We're in a different era now. So if I look back over the last since Abraham Lincoln, if I was to look at the last 150 years since Abraham Lincoln, and we said, or 170 years, and we said, what do we want to do here? What 4 faces could be put on Mount Rushmore that could say absolutely made a major difference in strengthening America? I would say that John F. Kennedy, a Democrat who was really loved by the American people and actually cared about this country, I think that he should be the 5th face on Mount Rushmore. I would put John F. Kennedy on Mount Rushmore. I think that the next face that I would put on Mount Rushmore would not be a president, but I think that he was such a powerful, instrumental player in our nation's history that I would certainly put Martin Luther King Jr. on Mount Rushmore. I think that he fulfilled and finished what Abraham Lincoln got started. And I think he is so important to American culture and this country that I think Martin Luther King Jr. should be put on Mount Rushmore. And then I have to tell you, I think that his ability to bring a nation back from the scandals of Watergate and the failed presidency of Jimmy Carter that brought this country basically to its knees with ridiculous appeasement with Iran and an economy that crashed. Ronald Reagan, who really restored pride in America, and really with his Reaganomics and his smaller government conservative approach, I think Ronald Reagan should be the 7th face, another president, on Mount Rushmore. I think you have to put him on there as well. And then last but not least, believe it or not, as much as he's had to endure, as much stuff is thrown at him, and in the first 3 years of his presidency, what a ride we were on before the coronavirus and everything else, I think you got to put Donald Trump on Mount Rushmore. I think he's Number 8, 4 new faces: John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Ronald Reagan, and Donald Trump should be added to Mount Rushmore. We don't need to tear down history. We need to build on it. Give your life to Jesus Christ, of course, for he is the King of Kings, and he is truly the Lord of Lords. We don't need to build an image to the beast. We need to give praise to the King of Kings, Jesus Christ.